Hello there, guys. How are you? No intro video or intro music for me because I don't pay for StreamYard anymore, so I I don't have access to that. I wasn't using StreamYard enough, so it really didn't matter. Anyway, I hope you're all having a wonderful evening. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Um, I know I haven't been posting a whole lot. Summer has been incredibly busy for us. We've just kind of been on the go. We were in South Carolina for a week and just things are being very hectic. And this is like the first weekend of summer that we haven't had plans for the weekend. So it just worked out that all this shit happened right now when I have the time to deal with it. The reason why I wanted to do a stream is because there is a couple of things that Max has said over the last couple of days that I wanted to address personally, that I took issue with. And I said some of it in some of the side chats and stuff like that, but it didn't really get addressed. So I'm just kind of putting my take on it out there, and I have receipts. So the things I'm going to address are things that Max have said, and I'm going to show you. And in doing that, because I've got like 5 different streams here that I went through to get information from various channels. Some are from Smokey's, some are from Isaac's, some are from Max's. But there is an interesting point where Max has repeatedly said that he's not a liar. And he, over the course of these 5 different streams, he has lied and he has been deceptive. And I'm going to show you that this evening to just kind of prove it out there in just what Max has said himself in the last 48 hours or so. Now, I wouldn't say Max is a friend because I didn't really know him all that well. We've had some positive interactions in the past. I thought he was a cool guy when I first started interacting with him. He seemed really chill, cool, supportive. He was very supportive of learning, very open, very welcoming. So he was easy to talk to. We never really got personal and got to really know each other. So I can't speak to that. But I did respect him in a sense. And that has drastically changed based on Max's behavior and some of the things that he said over the last couple of days. When he first started beefing with Smokey, it was like Thursday or Friday, I think. I think it was Thursday when this all really started. And I saw what was going on, but I didn't really want to get involved because I was just kind of remaining neutral because I felt like East Max was an okay guy. I'm friends with Smokey, so I didn't really want to get involved and get in the middle of it. But my view of that has changed just in watching the way Max has been interacting, and Max has been dishonest, and I'm not a fan of that. I'm really not a fan of that. I did want to, let me just see, I gotta pull it up here. Too many tabs open. But about, I want to say a week and a half ago or so, maybe 10 days, I got a notification that Max had tagged me in something. And I was like, okay, that's weird. Let's go check out what Max has to say. So let me just pull up his channel so I can put it on screen for you guys. Not that he said anything bad or anything in this post. It was just really confusing and really cryptic. And I didn't know exactly what he was trying to get at. And in my response to him, you can kind of see that. Now, just give me a minute here because he's posted so much. He's been spam posting, really, the last 4 or 5 days or so. And I had been subscribed to him, but he was flooding my feed. Like, it was just, he was drowning out all of the other content that I watch. And I was just like, you know what? I've got to unsubscribe simply because, like, this is just crazy. it's his channel. He's allowed to post on it. Totally cool. I just didn't want it overwhelming all of the other content that I interact with on YouTube. So I had unsubscribed, and I mean, I see that he really hasn't changed a whole lot, but a lot of his posts are like very cryptic, very, you know, it's like when somebody on Facebook vague posts where they post something like, oh, something's going on, or I had a really bad day, or I can't give you all the details, but and then they vague post, and it's very attention seeking behavior. It's they want people to come out and ask them what's going on, what's happening, like tell me the tea. And that's just kind of what this seems like. It's just like he is spamming everything, and we'll address that when we look at some of the content that we're going to go through some of the videos actually directly in that. I think, oh my goodness. Like I said, he's just been massively, this was the one post that I didn't bring up. I wonder if I can just get it from my mention. Where do you find your mentions on the desktop version? Just bear with me, guys, because I didn't have this pulled up. I should have. But I didn't think about it because I've got 5 other streams up in my tabs. That's 8 days ago. Where did it go? And this all at this point seems like it's very coordinated to cause even more division within the community, more strife. You know, he keeps saying that he wants to share the truth, but all he's really doing is just causing unneeded drama. Oh, the post. I cannot pull it up. Okay. All right. Well, I'm just going to have to read it to you because I do have the screenshots of it on my phone, but my computer won't let me go back far enough. Alrighty, let's see. Oh, the post is still there. It's from 11 days ago. It's just I can't. He posts so much I can't go back that far on my computer. Okay, so this is the original post. Lady Avon, welcome to YouTube Christianity. Just know you got folks out here if you need us. You trust Jesus the most, which is wise. As for me, I have a different walk. That said, I'm just one at symbol away like Batman if need be. Ah, there we go. Oh, it was on my phone. I must have had the stream up on my phone. Weird. Okay. So when I got the notification that he tagged me, I pulled this post up. And at this point, there had been no beef going on publicly between Smokey and Eastmax. I knew that he had been cryptic posting. I didn't really understand what he was going through. I just figured that stuff was, hello, baby. Hi, Isaac. I just wasn't sure what exactly his point was. And I just it sent up red flags for me that something was going on. And I wasn't quite sure what. But again, I didn't feel like I know Eastmax well enough to reach out and ask him what's going on. So I just kind of sat back and was like, all right, well, I'll just comment. So what I said to him was, thanks, Max. I appreciate that. Did I miss something that happened, though? I'm out of the loop, I feel, since I haven't been on much, which is true. I haven't really been paying much attention to YouTube in the last couple of weeks. And then I said, of course, if you need a friendly, non-judgmental ear, I'm here. And I was just like, I was acknowledging that he was being kind in a post. So I replied in kind, even though I was still kind of confused about where it was coming from or what the intention was. So then this is what he replied. Yeah, so I did find out that I wasn't 100% sure because I did have a 0.001% doubt about a specific parts of the Bible. But long story short, I put my full ultimate trust in Jesus, and he basically gave me the power of the Holy Spirit. I feel it, I felt it, and I'm being told to use it because I have a lot of demon slaying to do on this platform. So that kind of confirmed the red flags that I was noticing. He didn't mention Smokey at the time, and I had no idea it was Smokey, but that just kind of led me to believe that he had beef going on with someone, even though I didn't know who it was. He's going Isaac crazy. Yet no, Isaac, I think he's outdoing you. I think he's definitely outdoing you, because Isaac, you did a lot of self-reflection. You came out, you apologized for your behavior. I apologized as well. We worked things out. And yeah, so like, I mean, but I don't think Eastmax has that type of discernment. I'm not getting that impression from him. Okay, so then he goes on to say, so basically I got born again and made Satan really mad, and he's sending them all after me, which is an honor, I must say. So that kind of alludes to he pissed somebody off on the platform and he was thinking that people were going to come after him, which is, to me, really paranoid, honestly. Not the first time I've come across somebody being paranoid about that, or someone putting a lot more value on someone wanting to take them out, so to speak, as in like cancel them on the platform. Hello, husband. Some people are incapable of looking inward. Yep, absolutely, 100%. Okay. If you're not already at the level in this thing we call Christianity, just know he won't send this hellish army till you're ready. I'm assuming he's meaning persecution because I'm a Christian. I mean, I have had hell thrown at me before. I have had adversaries online before. Hell, Smokey and I, our entire interaction began as adversaries. We disagreed on a lot. I was not his fan at all. I did not like Smokey in the least. I wanted nothing to do with him. I did have a serious curiosity with him and how he interacted with other people online, because I'd never really experienced that from other people before. But yeah, we did not like each other. He was really, really mean to me, and I was not nice back to him. So I had dealt with that kind of thing before, so it's not new to me. I do have a very thick skin. I mean, literally, my job is conflict resolution because I work in human resources, and so my job is disciplinary action and investigations, and being a mediator for staff and dealing with staff drama. So I mean, it's something I'm very experienced in dealing with. And my boss has actually even pointed out that there's not a whole lot out there that gets me riled up, because I'm a very patient person. And there are some things that Max has said in the last couple of days that have been just kind of hitting that sweet spot that just gets me riled up, because it's just inexcusable. It's just inexcusable in my book. But it's not like I'm not experienced in that. I'm 46 years old. I've dealt with a lot of shit in my life. I do have a lot of life experience. So, I mean, if people continue to attack me, it's whatever. I mean, just as an example, Smokey messaged me a screenshot this morning of a former subscriber of mine who doesn't like my politics and feels that I shouldn't be associated with Smokey. So she left a comment on one of his posts, trying to convince him to not associate with me. So like those kinds of attacks are not something new. It happens all the time. You just deal with it. And when it's from somebody that you've only interacted with, they've only left like 1 or 2 comments on your account. And then all of a sudden they're going around and talking to your friends saying you shouldn't associate with this person. It's like, you're a meaningless, faceless troll on the internet. Why am I going to let you bother me? I'm not. It's futile to waste your energy on people like that, because a lot of people get on their computers and they get behind the keyboard and they think that they're these, big warriors, and, you're going to take every single word that they say to heart. And that's not the reality of it, So I don't really care. Max, I have had, even just like tomorrow, for example, tomorrow is the 1-year anniversary of when I was baptized. In that year of being a Christian, I have been attacked, like a lot. I have been called a communist who's using Christianity to hide my beliefs from the public, which is dumb. But I have been called a fake Christian so many times, and my beliefs have been called into question by people who think that they have some power or influence over others online to be able to say that, But you know what the funny thing is? Even though the way that mine and Smokey's relationship started, like being so at each other's throats, do you know that in that year of being a Christian, do you know who has never questioned my faith or my Christianity? Do you know who has been 100% supportive of my journey and has not wavered in that support of my journey? Smokey and Will. They have never questioned my beliefs. They have accepted that I'm a Christian now. They have supported me becoming a Christian. Even though Smokey doesn't identify as a Christian anymore, he still supports me in being a Christian. So, I mean, to sit here and dog on Smokey trying to destroy the faith of others, he has been nothing but 100% supportive of my Christianity and my faith. So you don't get to come at me and tell me that I shouldn't associate with Smokey. Why would I turn my back on someone that has been such a big support to me? And I will, you know what, I'm going to get off on a tangent here. I can address the point that I was going to make because it's attached to a clip that we're going to watch. But anyway, the blessed pond dip. Yes, the blessed pond dip. I'm gonna repost my baptism video tomorrow, just because it's the anniversary of it. And I was baptized. So there's a couple that go to our church that have a huge property and have a huge pond. I'm talking like ginormous pond. They get like one of those floaty devices and put it out in the middle so the kids can all go swimming or whatever. But they have stairs that go down into the pond, and they have baptisms in their pond every year. I am notoriously afraid of natural bodies of water. I wouldn't say afraid. It's more like ick, because there's things that live in fresh water that just give me the heebie-jeebies. And especially in a pond, knowing the muck that's in the bottom of the pond, I can't do it. It just, bleh. So I went out and I bought water shoes, and I was baptized in the pond, the icky pond. I know I was blinded, but you kept the faith. Yes, I did. She doesn't like the fishies. I don't like the fishies. I don't like the fishies, the snails, the slugs, the leeches, like all that slimy, gross stuff that lives in the water. No, no. Give me a pool any day with chlorinated, clean water. No, thank you. No creepy crawlers. Anyway, so let's finish this message from Max. So again, he said, "You're not already at the level in this thing we call Christianity. Just know he won't send his hellish army till you're ready. If you need help, I'm here. Us baby Christians got to band together. Excuse me, even if we disagree on what the orange man did or didn't do, So implying that, obviously our politics are opposite. I see you calling evil, evil, and good, good, so you get it." You were teasing me days in advance. I hear you laughing out in the kitchen, sir. What's funny is that I at first had was going to put off being baptized because I didn't want to be baptized in the pond. But then I was like, my heart was telling me like, no, you have to be baptized. You have to be baptized. So I was like, oh. So then my pastor called me. And when he was talking to me on the phone, he talked me into it, even though I really didn't want to get in that pond.
Meanwhile, your husband's like, you're gonna go in the yucky pond and go swim with the fishies.
Yeah, no, he was not making it fun for me at all.
Swim with the fishies all day.
It's gross. Yeah, so anyway, I guess he knew what he was going to do ahead of time based on this message that he sent, that you like this reply that he sent me. And I was just kind of really confused because I was like, this sounds like he's getting ready to start shit, or he's dealing with shit already, and that I'm somehow going to be involved in it. But again, being so cryptic and so vague, I really didn't get what he was implying, right? I just had that feeling that something was going on. I just didn't know what it was yet. So that was like 11 days ago. And now I know, in hindsight, that he was talking about Smokey. So he's been cryptic posting about Smokey for at least 11 days and intending to do this shit for the last almost 2 weeks. And that alone says a lot, because if he had an issue almost 2 weeks ago, why not just be a man, come right out and say it? Why is he playing childish high school games? You know, like it just seems really childish to me. If you have a problem with someone, just come out and say it. Come out and say it. And like he's been boasting, like repeatedly, I heard him say in the streams that I was watching that he's joined, that I'm honest, I don't lie, I come right out and say it. No, you don't. You haven't. I mean, that post alone proves that you had this cooking in the background without anybody knowing for quite a while. Well, no, I can't say nobody knew, because who knows what he was telling people in the background. But point still stands. He had this planned. He knew what was going on. Instead of coming out and saying it, he waited. He waited like more than a week to bring this up. So like, Max, why? Why are you being deceptive? You know, that's just completely dishonest. If you have beef, be a man, put those big boy panties on, and address the issue like an adult. Why are we playing childish high school games? That's just silly. And like, that too just makes me lose a lot of respect for you. Regardless. Anyway, okay, so we're going to address some videos. I've got timestamps, so that way I don't bore the shit out of you guys just responding to these videos. Few of them only have like 1 or 2 clips. Like I think there's one stream of Isaac's where there's only one point that I wanted to address, even though it's an 8-hour stream. But listen, I did a deep clean in my house today while I was listening to these streams. So at least it kept me entertained while I was deep cleaning my bathroom today. How appropriate. I was cleaning the shitter while I was listening to Eastmax. Is that a coincidence? I don't know. Anyway, so the first stream we're going to look at is called the failed maxing of Eastmax. And this was 2 days ago. So this was on the 16th, I believe. I think. Let me share it on the screen so that you guys can see it. Because there's a couple of points that I wanted to address in this one. This one I think I've got the most clips from. Share screen. Okay. There's a lot of. Can I make it big? There we go. Okay, where's my first point here? So we got to go back to right here. Yeah, right about there. Okay. So just to set this clip up, Max is talking about doxing. He seems to be under the impression that Smokey has his docs and thinks that this is doxing. At least that's the impression I got. And he seems very upset that Smokey has his docs, even though Smokey comes out and says, hey, I don't have them. Will comes out and says, I'm not the one that got them. I didn't give them to anybody because I don't have them in the first place. But Max doesn't care about that. He's, and he claims that he has proof of all this, but yet doesn't show any of it because it's back on his hard drive and he's on his phone. There was a stream previous to this where he claims that Smokey said that Will gave him his docs. But I think that stream is on Dave's channel, and I listened to so many streams today. I did not end up getting to that one. If I have to, I will. But he claims that Smokey said that he's got Max's docs, and Max is very upset about that. So let's take a listen.
He's intending to do it.
Oh, great. Now I can't hear you guys. I have to re-enter the stream again. Hold on.
Oh, okay. Now Boki's is getting all
If
funny.
I'm echoing, let me know.
Can you still hear me, Isaac?
I'm on my headset.
Isaac's
On.
all right, Max. So can you hear me?
On it. Yeah, I have a real big life development happening in my real life, but I have I don't know, a little time to deal with you guys in the meantime too. So we'll go ahead and just deal with all the shit show today. Yeah, I have a real big life development
Okay.
happening in my real life. Would you like to know? Because I can tell the class what's going on in my real life, but it's not anything that's big that you guys want to know about.
So, all right, don't let me stop you. Let me say whatever you want.
Well, I'll have a lot of time to deal with you guys coming up here very soon. Let's put it that way.
I'll have a lot of time to deal with you guys coming up. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean deal with you guys? What exactly is he going to do? Because he keeps claiming that he has a lot of evidence, but hasn't shown anything yet. He's shown one DM that Will Kincaid sent him. And that's the only evidence that I've seen so far. And it's the message from Will. There's nothing incriminating in it. So
That's
So-
a cryptic way to put it, but okay.
Well, yeah, because I mean, I guess you'll find out since you're in my personal life, you'll find out what is going on in my personal life. But I guess you look around, you'll find out.
what's funny is that he's saying there, well, you're in my personal life. Dude, you literally just volunteered. Do you want to know? Do you want to know what's going on in my personal life? So, I mean, you obviously know that they don't have your personal information. They don't know what's going on. You're offering to share it, but then accusing them of being in your personal life. It's a little contradictory, no?
I don't go looking for your personal shit, Max. I was clear about that yesterday. You keep saying it, but it's not true.
It is true.
It is. Well, you can keep saying it. There's been no evidence of it. I'm not threatening you with anything. I'm not looking for anything. I've not done anything with anything.
But you're
No.
associated with individuals who do, and that's weird, right?
So what? I have a lot of associations.
So what? So what? Okay, yeah. So what? I can go.
Listen, lots of people do bad things. Nobody's perfect. Everybody makes mistakes. If we dropped our friendships based on people making mistakes, then nobody would ever have any friends. And what some people are willing to tolerate through their friendships is on a case-by-case basis. How you feel about that person really kind of determines what you're willing to put up with. Some things people don't care about. It's all up to the individual. But there is literally no one out here that is friends with someone who was 100% perfect all of the time, ever. I fucked up massively in this community, massively. And Will and Smokey know all about that and called me out for it. I apologized. It happened years ago. And we got to know each other and we moved past it and we're still friends. They could have fucked off and been like, screw you, but they didn't. And we're friends now today, despite the fact that I massively fucked up. So, I mean, that speaks for itself.
Hang around. Well, guess what? Guess what? There's you know who also uses that same defense? People who are on the Epstein Island, brother. Oh well, I'm just friends with people that were there. I'm just friends with people that went there. Yeah, okay. Your association, you're guilt by association if the association is guilty.
So
Duh.
we're all apparently guilty of doxing Max and having Max's docs just because we're friends with someone that you think doxes. You know, I don't think Max really understands what doxing is, because I mean, he goes on to accuse Will of doxing people, and for it to be considered doxing, you have to post someone's public information on a public forum. That's what doxing is. Posting it public for everybody to see. I can give you the perfect example. I have had a little stalker for years and years. And I was friends with a lady named Kelly. And this particular person took what they thought were Kelly's full last name, like first and last name, and her telephone number, and posted them on her Twitter to her like 30,000 followers. That is doxing. When you post somebody's personal information online, that is what doxing is. Will hasn't done that. And I dare you to show me actual evidence of William posting anyone's personal information on a public forum. I dare you. And I already know what that outcome is going to be. It's going to fail because it didn't happen. He hasn't doxed anyone. You know, if he has personal information on people, like, I don't know if you realize this, Max, but just having somebody's name and phone number is that's not private information. It's really not. Because when you can look it up online, it's public information. It's not illegal for people to have your phone number or your address when it's listed publicly. We used to have these things called phone books that were delivered to our houses once a year. I'm going to age myself here. I am so sorry. But once a year, they used to drop off this giant fat book of people's names, phone numbers, and addresses to our door. So that way, if you wanted to get a hold of someone and you didn't know their phone number, you flipped through the phone book and you looked it up, and it gave you their address, it gave you their phone number, and it gave you their name. And nowadays, you can get all that information easily online. The white pages are online. So somebody having your personal information, just telling you that they have your name, phone number, and address, that's not doxing. It's public information. The issue is when people post it publicly, because that shows malicious intent. You know? I mean, right now, you can look up a business's phone number and address, who the owner is, what city they're in, what state they're in, what country they're in, all of that. Is that doxing the business? No. So this whole thing about him being obsessed with dox is just really, really silly. And the way that he's implying that this community is going or even interested in his personal information in the first place is just ridiculous. Childish, paranoid, and ridiculous.
I don't think that fallacy.
I don't care what you think, Boki.
Well, hold on a second. Hold on a second.
No.
Hold the phone.
Your allegiance is with Smokey, and that means you're not my friend.
Does anyone else think guilt by
Seriously?
association is a thing? Does anyone else think that's actually a thing?
That's what you
It's
tried
a
to.
fallacy. I'll tell you that. It's
Well,
fallacious.
It's not fallacious. Those are he admitted he hangs out with people that dox Boki.
What are you talking about?
Boki, he's admitted right here and
Hang out
yesterday
with?
that he hangs out with people that go searching for docs and release docs, and he's
I
okay with
never
that.
said any of that.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
you
did.
That's not what I said at all.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
you
who-
did.
You
You
know
know
what?
who else?
That's the part that I was not able to find. And I do want to go through Dave's. Hopefully Dave's got his transcripts on so that I can read through it to see if I can find the specific area that Max is talking about. But I guarantee you that he took whatever Smokey said out of context, because he did this earlier in the stream about, oh God, I just drew a blank on it. Smokey had said something about not hating Christians, and he said what Smokey actually said was most Christians. Max said he said all Christians. So Max, this is why showing your receipts is so important, because when you mix up the word all and most, two completely different meanings in those statements, right? And in this case, when you're attacking Smokey when you got the context wrong, that makes you look like an idiot. So that's why if you're going to make these accusations, you need to show up with the receipts. That way you actually carry some weight. Prove what you're saying. Evidence is important, Max. And you're just making empty accusations of an entire community. And that's not fair. And I mean, overall, and I was going to address this later in the stream, but I'm just trying to think of the best way to word this. You come out and you say that they're attacking you and that this hellish army is coming against you and you have God on your side, so you're going to deal with it. But then you turn around and you play the victim that everybody's like, you know, you were talking about your burial stream and, you know, this was going to be the end of Eastmax. And it's like 1 minute you're playing the antagonizer and then the next minute you're playing the victim. And you're just kind of, you're painting two different portraits here. What are you? Are you the warrior or are you the victim? Because you're playing both sides here. You can't be both at the same time. It doesn't work like that. Okay. Let's see. What other timestamp do I have here? Okay. 1:11:21. Oops. I was just getting there. Oh, yeah. We had passed that one already. Okay. There's an important part here coming up.
Do you know
You
who?
did.
Do you know who else also has my docs?
You know the
Human
problem is
resources,
professionals using
legal.
words you don't know
Yeah,
what
the
they're
government, my own government has a list on me. Why does Smokey?
Eastmax, you keep using words you don't understand. I think that's
Like what?
part of the disconnect here.
Like what? What word?
Like associations. Like
Yeah, you said you
think like
associate with
association
people.
and like friendship hangout are the same thing.
But
'cause you're
is Will Kincaid not your friend?
he doesn't dox anyone. He never
But-
has. Prove
but
Will
you-
Kincaid doxing anyone ever.
You told me that yesterday. You got my docs from him.
Dude, no one has
What?
doxed you. Getting an email from someone or a Discord message or
Yep.
something sent to us is not us looking for it.
But your friend
and
did find
it's
it.
not us using it if we don't do anything with it.
Your friend. Okay, let me use the word friend then. Your
So
friend
no one's
doxes people.
doxing you, lying
your-
trash.
But your
No
friend,
one's
Will,
doxing
your friend, not your associate. Your friend Will Kincaid gave you my docs.
And so there's again another claim. Will Kincaid gave you my docs. What evidence do you have of that? Or are you just making assumptions and then pointing the finger at people based on your assumptions? You don't like Smokey. So you're making shit up. If you're going to make big accusations like this, then show up with your evidence. Show us where the proof that Will Kincaid gave your docs to Smokey. Because till then, I've got no reason to believe you, and I'm just going to dismiss it. I've got no reason to believe that.
You don't have your docs. The cult does. I don't have them. I have not seen them.
Well, as a co-founder, you should put a stop to that, right?
It's not my department.
Because you don't have any authority in your own group, bitch.
It's fine if you want to say that.
So this is an interesting statement, and there's a particular reason why I highlighted this one, where he says, you have no authority in your group. Smokey does not have authority in the group. However, Max goes on in a later stream to then accuse the Cone Club cult of being an actual cult, and even brings up the definition of a cult. And if we bring up the definition of a cult, oops, there we go. And he pulls this up on screen too. Is a group or a social movement defined by an unorthodox extreme beliefs or a devotion to a charismatic leader. So the charismatic leader absolutely, or has absolute authority, lies with a single leader who claims special knowledge or status. So which is it, Max? You're first accusing Smokey of having no authority in his own group, but then you later go on to accuse him of being a cult and having absolute authority and having control and manipulation over the entire group. Again, both things can't be true at the same time, Max. So which is it? If you're going to come out and play with the big boys, get your fucking story straight. Because it's all mixed up here. You're contradicting yourself. Because you'll say one thing and then go on another stream and say another. And I have plenty of other examples of you doing the exact same thing. You say one thing in one stream and something different in another stream. And then you sit here and say, well, I don't lie. Well, okay, if you're not lying, then you're being deceptive. Or you're stupid. And I don't get the impression that you're stupid. So that would mean that you're intentionally being deceptive. So that would be lying. That's not a good character trait, Max. All right, let's go back to this. What's my next timestamp? Okay, yeah. Again, he says he's got evidence. He says he has evidence, but it's all on his hard drive at home. And that was 2 days ago. And he still hasn't posted anything. So I'm starting to believe that he really doesn't have anything, and he just is trying to be intimidating, letting everyone think that he has this information, but I don't believe it. I don't believe it. The constant interrupting just really, it was terrible, because he would ask a question, and then the person answering, usually Smokey, would get 2 sentences in. He did it a lot to Boki too, where he would ask Boki a question, Boki would start to answer, and then he'd cut him off right away. So, I mean, that was kind of my motivation for not allowing Max to be in my panel tonight, because I wanted to say my thoughts and share my opinions on this whole situation, and I didn't want to be interrupted every 2 seconds. So I just closed the panel. I did tell Smokey that if he wanted to join, I would send him the link. But that will be the only person that I'm bringing on, because I don't want to argue back and forth about this. And I have church in the morning, so I'm not staying up till like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning with a panel full of people. As much as I love all of you guys, I need to sleep because I got to be up early for church. Anyway. Okay, so the next one we're going to jump to much further in the stream here. This is something I talked about a little bit earlier.
And in one instance of being distracted and misspeaking there, the pod team has mocked me for a hot minute. You know, the 1 day versus 3 day thing. Even Rob Reed fucking brought it up the other day because, you know, he doesn't have anything else anyway. So anyway, so look at these, Max. I don't know if you came here for Isaac, for me, or what the, okay. I don't know what you're doing there. Spider wants to know if you have gold teeth. He's Max.
I'm done now.
Oh, you're cutting grass. Okay.
Yeah, Isaac was being mean to me, so I guess I can focus on him first. You haven't really been mean to me. I don't know. Yeah. I'll be in a bitch and help out.
There we go.
What are you talking about?
Stop being a bitch and help clean this house up.
Time polemics against people's shitty, stupid beliefs.
And you suck at it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't hear your logical critiques of any.
Okay, Smokey, how many converts have you gotten, buddy? How many converts? How many converts?
More than you, East Max. It's okay. It's
How
okay.
many converts?
More than you, East Max. It's okay. Mendy. What about Mendy?
So thank you, Isaac, for pointing that out, because when he sat there and questioned Smokey on converts, yeah, I'm one of them, Max. I'm one of them. Do I give credit to Smokey for my conversion? No, that glory goes to God. However, and Smokey's brought this up before, both Smokey and Will Kincaid played a very integral part in my coming to Jesus. And I did, before I converted, I did go to Smokey and ask a lot of questions, both privately and on his streams. I talked to him. And I also feel like God brought me to Smokey's streams specifically to learn. And I firmly believe that God puts people in your path for a specific reason. So I feel like both Smokey and Will get some of the credit, and I'm very, very grateful for them because they helped lead me on this path to finding Jesus. And I'm very, very thankful for that. If that qualifies me as a Smokey convert, cool, go for it. But I do give Smokey a lot of credit for supporting my journey, being there to answer my questions, and being a guiding light when I was searching for answers. And I owe him for that. I do. Just like I would owe anybody else giving me a kindness. So I'm one of those Smokey converts. So when you're sitting here questioning him about it, hi, how you doing? It's me. But yeah, and I had written down in my notes here that we were going to talk about that how I've been mocked through my Christianity, but I brought that up already, But Smokey's faith in my journey and my support of my journey has never wavered. Neither has Will's. The two of them, I trust implicitly because of that. I don't base my opinion on someone else based on other people's opinions. Because if I listened to you, East Max, and I listened to that rather than what I already know of Smokey, what kind of person would that make me? You know, my friendship with Will and Smokey is based on my personal experiences with them. They've been there for me, and I'm very grateful for that. And I consider them both my friend. If you don't like that, that's too freaking bad. Too bad. I don't have to answer to you for that. I didn't owe you this explanation about why I'm friends with both of them. I consider Will one of my good friends. I would trust that man with my life. You know, I have talked to Will about all kinds of things. Even though he's not on YouTube, I talk to Will all the time. He's a good friend. I love Will. And I don't appreciate the shit that you're saying about him. And I mean, when you attack one of my friends and you make accusations like this about one of my friends, that taints my opinion of you. Because Max, I don't know you. I really don't. You're an acquaintance. You're a faceless person that I've met online who I've had a couple of positive interactions with. That doesn't trump the friendship that I have built with Will, or the friendship that I've built with Smokey, or the friendship that I've built with Lo, or anyone else in this community. I'm sorry, but I've built meaningful relationships with these people. I haven't built one with you, so I'm sorry. And if that to you, if you make people choose between you and someone that they've been friends with for 5+ years, I'm sorry, but you're going to get shown the door. Don't expect people to choose you over people that they care about. And if you're going to put me in a position where I have to choose between them or you, it's going to be them. Sorry, that's just the way it is. I'm not disloyal like that. You told Boki that you didn't want to be friends with him because he associates with Smokey. Cool. Consider me in that group then. I don't have a problem with that. No skin off my nose. Okay. The next spot that I wanted to pick is just a couple minutes up here. That's close enough. This part is just comical, but it does have further relevance later on.
Hey, what I did to
Oh,
dog.
no.
Like, anyone gives a fuck, man. No one cares what you did to Knock.
Oh, I just realized I had this on 1.5 speed. Let's slow her down just a wee bit. There we go. Stop. Oh no.
No one cares. No one does.
A lot of people cared back then if you're around. for the
Yeah,
long
but now you're sitting here acting like you peaked already. Oh, well, look at what I did at Knock. I'm gonna do it to you. No, you're not.
It was fun.
You
It
ain't
was
gonna do
fun.
shit to
Well,
me,
those
first
days
of
are
all.
over. I'm not about that type of business like I was.
It's because, honestly, Smokey, we're at the same playing field, whether you like to admit it or not. We ain't got no power over each other.
Oh, Max, you are nowhere near my level, and you know it. And
Yeah,
that's
okay. In what
And that's
regard,
okay,
Smokey?
but-
What regard? Are we talking
Yeah.
IQ? Because I'm higher than yours. You want to talk about physical strength? I'm much stronger than you. You want to talk about the ability to walk in my faith authentic?
So this is where he brings up, you want to talk about strength? I'm stronger than you. What does your physical strength have to do with anything, Max? What relevance does it have? Because that's you just trying to be vain and flex. Oh, I'm smarter. I have muscles. So what? What does that gain you? Absolutely nothing. So why are you bringing it up? Why are you using it as an argument? Yeah. This is just basically demonstrating vanity and pride, which are both sins, you know. And so again, I just wanted to point that out, that, you know, Max thinks he's smarter than Smokey. Apparently thinks he has a higher IQ, though. I mean, we all know IQ is a little skewed. But he claims to be smarter. He claims to be stronger. He then also challenges him to a rap battle. Like, come on now. Are you fucking 16 years old, dude? Come on. Like, it's so freaking childish. And like, this is just not the behavior that I expected out of Max. And as I was watching this, because I think I watched this stream, I can't remember if I watched the stream first. There's been so many so close together, I can't remember which one I watched first and which one I didn't. But I was just like, I was so disappointed. So disappointed. Because like, this is not godly behavior. And this is not what I expected out of him. And this is kind of a lot where my respect just kind of disappeared, you know, in just this little couple of minutes. All right. So then we had talked about, there we go. We had talked about how he was being contradictory with the cult thing and how he said that 1 minute, in this particular stream, he said that Smokey had no authority over his group. But then in a later stream claims that Smokey then has ultimate authority and control over the group. Again, contradicting. But this is again here where he says,
What do you mean?
You skip past it, Smokey. Let's go look at your.
It says right here, 30 views.
Your
What do you
last.
want me to put up?
That's not. Yeah, but that was a test, like little baby stream. I didn't even do anything.
Okay, 96 views. What? 61
No,
views?
keep scrolling. Keep scrolling.
Okay.
Keep scrolling.
You gotta fight back.
Well, again, my last stream had like 300.
Now I want you to be mindful, Smokey. You helped me get these views, okay? Mind you, right?
And why are you bragging?
Now-
What do you mean?
You skip past it, Smokey. Let's go look at your.
It says right
How
here,
about
30.
do anything?
Okay, 96 views. What?
No,
61
keep scrolling. Keep scrolling.
Okay.
Keep scrolling.
You gotta fight back.
Well, again, my last stream had like 300.
Now I want you to be mindful, Smokey. You helped me get these views, okay? Mind you, right?
And why are you bragging?
Now,
why are you flexing? over
Because
this?
here's why: you're too dumb to realize, Smokey, you don't have that much power in this community you think you do.
okay, so here he is saying, Smokey, you don't have as much power as you think you do. So again, Max, which is it? Does Smokey have ultimate control and manipulation over us? Or does he not have enough power over us in this community? He doesn't have as much power as he thinks he does. You can't keep your story straight. So why would anybody believe you when you say different things in different streams? You got to at least be consistent with your arguments, Max. Otherwise, you're just going to be dismissed. And you're honestly just making a fool of yourself through all of this. You're showing your lack of character through all of these streams that you've done in the last couple of days. And it's really disappointing. I'm sad for you. I'm sad that your path is leading you this way. I understand that if you maybe didn't feel like you fit into the community, or you didn't want to be a part of the community, or you felt like you didn't need the community, that's totally fine. No one's forcing you to be here and interact with us. You have the ability as a grown-ass adult to step away and say, this is not for me. I'm going to focus my journey somewhere else. But you feel the need to stir the pot and cause drama and strife. And I don't understand why you think that's justified. And I mean, you're forcing people to choose between you and their friends. And I'm sorry, but there's not going to be many people that choose you. And I don't know if you really want to associate with the people who will. But that's totally on you. Whatever. You do you. I just don't agree with what you're trying to do on your way out the door. Because it's just like, it's like a teenager that's having a tantrum and is knocking everything off the shelf to make a mess before they make their dramatic exit. You're not proving anything. You're just showing that you're immature. That's all. Okay. So this next little part is very important, and we will address it. There is other parts in other streams, but I have something to say about this.
Are you shitting me? Biting the hand that feed you should
Because
know
I went to
better.
go see.
Damn.
Do you want me to explain
You
it very
literally
simply?
just said that.
Do you want me to?
Damn.
Do you want me to draw it with a crayon?
Damn.
I don't investigate yours either.
Well, how would you know we were getting the same amount of views then, you fucking idiot?
Well, when I click on the community beef and I start listening to you hate on all the Christians, right? I go remind myself, wait a minute, this is
God
future.
damn, Max.
Let me refresh.
You know,
I go
dude,
down and I see
promise
how
you
many
this.
viewers.
Again, he's contradicting himself. I don't investigate your channel, but I clicked on your video and I watched it. Well, then that's investigating his channel. Like, duh.
You have, and then I have to remind
stuff
myself,
is
wait a
not
minute,
solid.
Smokey is such this strong man all of a sudden. He's got all these views, he's got all this sway in the community. I look at the viewership, it's like 400. Like, wow, congratulations.
Again, he's got all this sway in the community when you literally just said 2 minutes ago, 3 minutes ago, you don't have as much power in this community as you think you do. So again, which is it, Max? Does he have sway or does he not have sway? Your arguments aren't consistent, and that just makes you look like an idiot.
Do you notice when he talks about retard Christians, I don't get offended because I'm not a retard Christian.
No.
Yeah. Because Smokey's not referring to all Christians. He's married to one. So why would he insult his own wife? Do you think he'd be that dumb? My husband's an atheist, and I know he's not that dumb to insult me. He attacks Christianity all the time. But when he does it, he acknowledges that it's not all Christians because he is happily married to one. And, you know, people who are Christian and not Christian can coexist. It is possible. Did I get to that? Oh, I did. Not yet. Okay, hang on.
That doesn't apply to me.
Well, I'll go back and clip exactly what he said, and you all be the judge about what he said because it's out there. I'm not making it up. I watched it this morning, and I was like, wow, okay, what a weirdo.
Said?
You're a weirdo.
Can you tell me what was said?
Yeah, something to the effect that all Christians are retards, and you said it very specifically about
So
all
something
Christians.
To the effect of. So you didn't actually hear it.
No, I did, and I'll clip it. I was gonna upload it, but I'm here now instead
Where
of
is
doing that. I don't know. It's on one of those videos. I gotta go find it. I have it on my notepad.
You don't know what was said. You don't remember what was said, but you're asserting what was said. Make that make sense. Again, this is why receipts are so important, Max, because you lose your argument here when you can't support it, when you don't even remember. Smokey was asking you for a direct quote to prove your claim, and your answer is, I don't know. So then shut the hell up and don't make the assertion until you have the receipts to back it up. Because otherwise, people are just going to laugh at you. You're just making empty claims. You know, I can sit here and make empty claims on you, Max. I can say you doxed me. Does that mean that you did? Based on the way you're working here, I guess it does. Right? I don't have to show receipts that you actually did that. I just have to claim that you did. Does that make it true? Because it seems like that's what you're trying to imply, that you don't need receipts to prove something's true. You just need to say it. That's not how evidence works. It's not. Okay, he's going to say something real important here in the next 2 seconds, so listen carefully.
All right, go clip it. That's what we're about.
It's whatever, bro. It's nothing you haven't said before.
Then what's the problem? Yeah, what is the problem? All of a sudden this morning. All of a sudden this morning.
Well, I've never really been cool with Smokey ever.
There you go. There it is. I've never really been cool with Smokey ever. Okay. All right. So you've never been cool with Smokey. You've known Smokey now for how long? At least 6 months, because you were around when the whole Isaac stuff happened in December. You've been around for at least since December, since I came back onto the picture. So we're looking at what, 8 months or so? You haven't been cool with Smokey ever? Okay. So explain something to me then, Max. Why did Smokey think that you were friends? That's on you for misrepresenting your intentions. Because you were obviously behaving in a way for Smokey and Will both to consider you a friend to extend an invite to a private group because you, I guess, showed potential to be trustworthy enough to be let into a group that is very private. You know? So, I mean, if you weren't cool with Smokey, then why didn't you make your intentions clear? Why did you not ever come out and say, hey, I don't really like you. I'm not your friend. I don't want to associate with you. That's you, again, being dishonest, Max, because you were misrepresenting your intentions. If you weren't cool with Smokey, you should have said something. That's what a man would have done. That's what an adult would have done. Why would you pretend to be someone's friend? Because that speaks to you and what kind of character that you have by hiding your intentions to let other people think that you're friends when you're not. I don't want to be friends with that kind of person. So I appreciate you showing your true colors, and I'm glad that I didn't get to know you because obviously you're not trustworthy. How I got no way to gauge that. You haven't proven that you're trustworthy. You should have clearly communicated that. He goes on to say here, I've never really been cool with Smokey ever.
Oh,
I just tolerated him.
here comes the truth.
I just tolerated him. So you just tolerated. Now, I want you guys to remember this particular phrase that he said this. I've never really been cool with Smokey, and I just tolerated him. Because it is going to come up later on in the stream when we look at it. Okay, so now we're going to jump to 309. 311. That works. Okay, here we go.
Pointless at this point.
Exactly.
Losing what? You're spurting out like a retard, making no points, can't answer questions, and you think you're winning. Which is
Then ask me a direct question with a yes or no answer.
This is like a dudism.
Okay, what's your problem?
Yes.
I don't have one beyond Smokey being a fucking hypocrite.
So
In
what do you
what
seek
way?
to accomplish?
So, again, I feel like he's being dishonest here that he's saying that he doesn't have a problem. He doesn't have a problem. But then he later goes on to say that Smokey is evil. And he's ending, what, fake friendships? What he told Boki, you associate with Smokey, so you're not my friend. So if you don't have a problem, then why are you claiming that Smokey is evil? Because that certainly sounds like a problem to me. So you're contradicting yourself here again, Max. You're being dishonest. You did have a problem. You still do have a problem. You believe that Smokey is evil. Why are you lying about it? Just be a man and come right out and say it. Yeah, I do have a problem. And he says here that here, hang on. What do you seek to accomplish?
With all these vague posts and this passive aggressive silliness?
Nothing, actually.
Okay, so you're just wasting your own time.
No, I'm
You have no
making
goals.
Nothing.
no. It
So what's your problem?
You're winning. Which is
then ask me a direct question with a yes or no fucking hypocrite.
Silliness.
Nothing.
Yeah.
So
In
what do you
way?
I don't have one beyond Smokey being a fucking hypocrite.
Okay. And again, that statement is extremely important. Is that his problem with Smokey is not that he's evil, not that he thinks that Smokey doxes people. He thinks Smokey is a hypocrite. Very, very important distinction that we need to remember. Okay. I lost my train of thought here. Okay. So he has a problem with Smokey because he believes that Smokey is a hypocrite. And that's kind of contradicting itself. Because you were fine letting Smokey think that you were a friend. You were fine with being deceptive. But then you turn around and you accuse Smokey and friends of being antagonistic towards you. So if we look at this and kind of review how it started, and the fact that, again, we go back to that post that Max tagged me in 11 days ago, he obviously had something in the background. He obviously had something planned. He certainly alluded to that in that post. But he continued on for what, another week and a half or so under that facade, and then comes out and starts attacking Smokey. Who's the hypocrite there? By your own admission, you started the problem. You had no intention. You admit right here that you don't have a goal. You know, what you want to accomplish, nothing. You just don't like that Smokey's a hypocrite, so you jump into in here and cause problems. Why? Just because you can? Because you don't like someone? And yet you don't like Smokey because he's a hypocrite? I think you need to go look in the mirror first, Max. Because who's also being a hypocrite? Why are you holding Smokey to a different standard than you're holding yourself? I mean, and you're mad because Smokey can see through your bullshit. And other people like Low can see through your bullshit. You know, I unfortunately didn't see through the bullshit quite as well as they did. But I'm there now. I caught up. We're all good. But the fact that you're trying to call Smokey out for something that you're also doesn't really make any sense. You know, it's a hypocrite. Calling a hypocrite, I suppose. I don't know. I don't think Smokey's a hypocrite. But Max is clearly demonstrating being a hypocrite here and providing the example for us. So, you know, that again, that's why receipts are friggin' important. Okay, there's more to listen to here in this clip.
So
In
what do you
what
seek
way?
to accomplish with all these vague posts and this passive aggressive silliness?
Nothing, actually.
Okay, so you're just wasting your own time.
No, I'm
You have no
making
goals.
Nothing.
no. It's
I
not
wanna
anything that is
accomplish
going to
nothing.
stop anytime soon.
God, this is so fucking
Okay.
cringe.
No, nobody cares. I just want to know if you want to.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you guys are making this into such a bigger deal than it ever had to be. But
Bro,
here
I'm
I
in
am.
at work. I ain't been worried about this. I'm just.
Me neither. This has been brought to my attention too, Lo. So I'm dealing with it as we go.
You made a bunch of posts today. No one invoked you. No one called you.
And that's silly. Someone brought it to my attention. Buddy, you have been vague posting for like 2 weeks. You've been alluding to this kind of thing for a couple of weeks now. We can go through your posts on your channel and we can see, because now that we've got the full picture, a lot of your vague posting makes sense. But you clearly knew what you were doing when you posted it. So again, you're being dishonest. It wasn't brought to your attention. You started it. You weren't provoked. You're the antagonizer. You decided to be the problem. And now you're trying to lay the blame at Smokey's feet, and Smokey's not accepting that. And his community sees through that. And you're mad, and you're scrambling, and you're failing. And how do we know that? Because your story fucking keeps changing. Again, there's several streams here where you say contradicting things. You can't keep your story or your arguments consistent. And that just makes you look weak. That's on you. All right, there's another little bit at like 3:18 here. And then I think we're done with this particular stream.
No, if I'm telling you right now, what you did is not a friend, and you cannot repent to Smokey and just say, "Oh, I was
I
just
won't bow
testing
down
the
to it.
waters."
Uh-uh.
Isaac,
Fuck up.
Isaac, I just want to say, I love you dearly, Isaac, but you're very loud sometimes. And with someone with autism, it's very hard to listen to sometimes when you're yelling. But I still love you though. But sometimes I wish you had a volume button.
Shut the fuck up.
Hey, he bit on the bait.
I don't
That's all.
care.
I don't bite on.
There you go. He bit on the bait. Smokey bit on the bait. Did you catch that? So he, again, intentionally knew what he was doing. He was trying to cause a problem. He was trying to bait Smokey into this. He is the antagonizer. He's the one causing the problem, and he's admitting that he's causing the problem. So I don't feel sorry for you, Max, because you don't get to cause a problem and cause issues in a group of people and then cry victim. Oh, poor Max. They're all ganging up on me. You started the fucking problem. You decided to be immature and try and bait Smokey into an argument. You were successful, and now you're regretting it. I don't understand the mentality behind that, but it is what it is. Yeah. And again, you accused Smokey earlier of having ill intentions, but that was just straight up admittance of you having ill intentions. So why, again, are you holding Smokey to a different standard than you hold yourself? That's not fair, is it? All right, let's move on to the next stream. Which one do I have next here? Okay, do I want to go to that one first? All right, let's look at the sulking stream. That's the next one on my list. Okay, and take this back by 2 seconds here. Oh, no, that's not the right time. No, you haven't. That's a bold-faced lie. Bold-faced lie. And I proved it at the beginning of my stream about what you posted and tagged me in 11 days ago. You knew what you were doing back then. That wasn't upfront and honest. So it's funny that you were pulling this shit, and then you sit here and try to claim that you've been nothing but upfront and honest. What about being upfront and honest with Smokey? Why did you pretend to be his friend for so long? That wasn't upfront and honest. Be a man. Tell someone that you don't like him and you don't want to be his friend. Why string him along? Why were you leading him on? Max, what was your intentions? Because it definitely wasn't honest and upfront. So, again, we're going to lie some more, I thought. Okay, let's go to... Oh, that's way too far. I hate working with a touchpad because it's so finicky. Oh, dryer's done. Okay. Gonna skip. Oh. Wait a minute. You're claiming that you thought he was your friend, a friend of yours? But the stream that we just listened to, Max, you said that you were never cool with Smokey. And you just tolerated him. But wait a minute. Now you're saying he's a friend. And we just listened to you saying that you've always been upfront and honest. Oh, all these things don't go together, Max. Which is it? Were you not cool with Smokey and hiding it from him? Or did you actually think he was your friend? Because those two things, what you said, they're two contradicting things. Doesn't make sense. So much for that upfront and honest thing, huh? I mean, clearly you wanted to have a fake friendship with him. Definitely from your end, because you weren't honest about how you felt about him. You didn't trust him. You just tolerated him, but you had no problem letting him think that you were a friend. You know? So like what this consistency, Max, consistency. You got to keep this together because your arguments aren't making sense. And when someone like me, who's not directly involved, can go and pull these clips and prove you wrong, ooh, that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. And I mean, I didn't want to come on here and prove you dishonest, Max, but you're out in the open here being dishonest. I got to call it out. I'm sorry. Like, you're being dishonest. Okay. Let's see. All right, we can skip that one. That one's not important. Okay, this was another point that I was just kind of confused by. Let's see, 34. Here we go. Also, I just want to say that I didn't write this in my notes, but the fact that you're posting screenshots of private messages without getting consent from the person that you're having the private messages with, that not cool, Max. Not cool. You shouldn't be posting DMs and private messages without the other person consenting. This just is another example of you not being trustworthy. Because why am I going to private message you? I'm not going to take that risk because you might post it publicly. That's what you've just shown everybody here. That you don't respect people because you're just going to throw private messages up there with consent. You don't have to like the person, but you should ask for consent because that's the decent thing to do. Anyway, enough of that tangent. So this to me comes across as a veiled threat. Isaac's going down, Will's going down, Dave's going down. What going down? What do you mean? Because we just listened to you in that other stream say that there was nothing that you were trying to accomplish with this. But now you're claiming that all of these people are going to go down, whatever that means. I'm baffled at the contradictions in just the matter of like a couple of hours. I really, really question what's going on with you right now. I understand that there's shit going on in your real life because you shared that. You shared that publicly. I wouldn't have known otherwise that you had shit going on in your real life if you hadn't have shared that. You're going through some stuff. Obviously, you're coping with that by causing drama online, which we saw when, yesterday when you claimed that you were, going through a loss, but you had some time to kill, you had nothing else to do, so you were on your phone getting involved in drama. And I understand some people cope that way. My own stalker, her husband was lying in a hospital bed after having open heart surgery and almost dying. And she was sitting in the hospital room in the chair beside him, getting involved in drama with me. So I understand that some people will prioritize the online drama as a distraction from their real life. But it's making you come across as unstable. Your arguments are inconsistent. You're being deceptive. You're being dishonest. So maybe it's time to step away and take some time to heal and deal with your real life issues. And then you can come back online more stable, more coherent after some self-reflection. I mean, Isaac did a great job of that. He had a meltdown online. He went through some shit online. He did some self-reflection and he came back better for it. You know? So if Isaac can do it, Max, so can you. You witnessed it happen with Isaac. He's a great example of humility and what God can do in your life. And you're not showing that same mental stability. And it's funny because earlier in the stream, Isaac had said that he was pulling he was going Isaac crazy. And I honestly feel like this is more unhinged because Isaac was very emotional going through what he was going through, and he was driven by a lot of his emotion, and we could see that. But he took the criticism to heart, did that self-reflection, and came back better for it. And the community accepted him back with open arms. And I mean, that's what happens, right? Friends will sometimes have conflicts. That's life. You can't agree with someone 100% of the time or 100% on every single topic, right? But you can come to a place of understanding with your friends. You can apologize for your wrongdoings and your misunderstandings, and you can move on and go past it. That's what adults do. That's how you work things out with people. Instead, what I'm seeing, Max, and this is my opinion, I see you acting childish and trying to cause strife and hurt and anger within a community. I don't know, because why? You were rejected by it? I don't really understand where you're coming from. You're using your conviction with God as an excuse, but this is some kind of holy trial for you or something? I don't know, but I don't believe that. I don't believe that causing drama like this is going to accomplish anything. You yourself said that you weren't trying to accomplish anything, but now you're saying that we're all going to go down. So you got to make up your mind here, bud. Okay. Where we're at. Okay. Yeah. I since I'm related to this group, I would like to know how exactly we're going down and what for and what evidence you have of that. I'm really, really curious because otherwise this is just more empty claims to try and be intimidating or look cool or look strong or look like a warrior. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I wish I knew what your real intentions are, but you haven't exactly been honest about that, and so I can't say. But I don't know. I'm at a loss for words for that. I'd love to know what you did absolutely do a choice. You absolutely made the choice to do this. Again, you initiated it. You admitted that several times that you initiated this, that you baited Smokey. You started with the vague posting. Again, you did it like, I don't know, 11 days ago. But now you're trying to say that you didn't want to do it. It wasn't you actually doing it. What, were you possessed? Is that something you want to talk about? Because you're the one that decided to type and hit post. So if it wasn't you, Max, then who was it? You know, I took your wrench away, Max. I took it away earlier. I and that's great that you don't hold anything against me, Max. But I just want to tell you, I am extremely disappointed in your behavior. That you chose this path. This is what you decided to do. I thought you had more integrity. I thought you were more mature. and I thought you were more honest. And I just, like I said, in the last 3 days since Thursday, well, 4 days, 3 days, 3 days, I have seen so much dishonesty in you in the last 3 days that I've lost a lot of respect for you. Any respect, actually. I don't. I'm sorry. But this behavior is just not acceptable. And you're contradicting yourself so much. And it's hard to respect someone who is dishonest and deceptive and seeks out to hurt people. And I don't believe that this is God driven. You may believe it. That's cool. But I don't think that God would want you to cause this much strife. I can certainly understand if God wanted you to address it, but there is a much more productive and mature way that you could have done it. And you could have been more honest about it, and you didn't have to be deceptive. I mean, if you believe that you had to lie in order to accomplish this, that should speak for itself. Why would God want you to lie about something in order to accomplish a goal? That doesn't seem godly. But I'm just a baby Christian. What do I know? But yeah, anyway. So I just, again, wanted to point that out, that this you admitting that you intentionally initiated this entire thing, so you can't blame Smokey for something you started. You can't turn around and play the victim for a problem that you caused. It's not the way that works. That's what a narcissist does. Are you a narcissist, Max? I would hope not. Okay. So the next stream, I want to preface this with saying, I reached out to both Low and Smokey to get permission to post this clip because I felt really uncomfortable. This clip really, really friggin' bothered me a lot. Because what Eastmax does here in this little clip is really, really disgusting and disrespectful. And it really, really upset me. It sat with me really, really wrong. And I believe he went on later to apologize for it. I hope that's true. I don't remember seeing it. I know Low had apologized for calling him a bitch, and he apologized back for that. But I don't know if he apologized for this particular section of what he's about to do. But this is kind of one of the clips that really triggered me to want to do this stream and address this. It's really short. It doesn't last very long. And again, I got permission before I posted it, because it really bothered me. And Isaac calls him out right on the spot and tells him he's disgusting for it, which good for you, Isaac. I appreciate that. But this doing this to another man's wife, regardless of how you feel about that husband, is not okay, Max. Not okay. And if I hadn't already lost respect for you, this instantly would have been done. No respect whatsoever, because this behavior is just appalling. Okay, and I want to preface this by saying he is referencing a post here that Low made with Eastmax doing the bodybuilder flex thing. It's whatever. Some guys get off on building up their muscles and showing off to people because they have an ego that they need to feed. So I mean, we've seen the gym bros, and we know what fuels the gym bros. But Low had posted and said, who should feel insecure about their body again? You versus me. You tell me. He goes on to accuse Low of being not Christ-like. But I want to bring you back to the first video and refresh your memories about what happened in that first video. because no one was talking about anybody's bodies, right? But then Eastmax suddenly brings up the fact that he thinks he's stronger than Smokey. And if I had to let that clip play out a little bit longer, he goes on to claim that Smokey is insecure with his body. So this is Lowe just using Max's own argument against him, because Max initially said that Smokey, and I guess he had already also called Lowe that. I missed that part, but he goes on to call Smokey insecure because I guess, I don't know if Smokey's buff or not. Whenever I've seen Smokey on stream, he's sitting down. He doesn't look obese to me. He just looks like a normal sized man. Maybe a giant man, because I've seen pictures. I've seen pictures of him and Lowe together, and either Lowe is really, really short or Smokey's really, really tall. There's a very large height difference between the two of them. But anyway, any pictures I've seen of Smokey, he does not look obese. He does, like, I mean, me personally, I wouldn't assume that Smokey is insecure about his body. He's 6'3", specifically. I mean, I wouldn't know. I haven't asked Smokey. But maybe he is, maybe he's not. I just know that he's really tall. But he doesn't look like maybe he is insecure. I know I'm insecure about my body. I'm overweight, and I do have some insecurity problems. I'm working on fixing that. Thank you very much. But anyway, regardless, that's irrelevant. Lowe is posting this because of what Eastmax already said about Smokey and accusing Smokey of being insecure about his body. So I just want to point out that the fact that you did it and made the accusation first, and then you turn around and call Lowe unchristlike for behaving the same way that you did, I guess that would make you insecure as well. If you're going to open that door, then you've got to deal with the consequences, right? If you want to talk about body insecurity, I mean, for me personally, in my experience, I've seen gym bros like this posting all their pictures online, and they do come across as very insecure to me, because why are you posting 8 million pictures of your body? You know, do you need that external validation so badly? Why? What do you need it for? Otherwise, you know, you want that justification from people. It makes you feel good, feeds the ego. I don't know. Anyway, but this is how it started. So let's go on. You were judging. You were judging before. So why are we again holding Lowe and Smokey to different standards than you're holding yourself? That's not fair. Doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. Again, it's not weird behavior when it's a response to what you said. It's a direct response to what you said. So this is, again, you instigating and then turning around and claiming someone is not Christian when you instigated. What did you expect? Do you not expect people to treat you the way that you treat them? It's a golden rule, bud. Yeah, that's completely okay. It's completely okay. Again, it's in response to what you said. You hear no audio from my clips. Oh, it's because I didn't. I'm a dumbass. I know. I haven't StreamYarded in a while, so Give me 1 second. Okay. We are on stream. Which one were we on? Let's see what happened. Okay. Where did it go? Okay. So let's go back a little bit. Let's try this again. I'm competent at this streaming thing, I swear. Can you see it now? Hope so. Maybe. Possibly. Oop, let's make it big screen. There we go. I know what I'm doing. Thanks for pointing that out, though. Let's try this again.
For a
I
Christian
mean,
to
I'm
do.
gonna call out cringe when I see it.
But is it cringe that she posted this post?
No.
But that. I'm just replaying the clip so people knew what I was talking about.
So she should be judging my outwardly appearance as a fellow Christian, right?
You shouldn't be judging other Christians based on their outward appearance. But when you lash out at others and judge them based on their outward appearance, like you did with Smokey, you're gonna have to expect the same treatment back. You know, you treat others with the same energy that you get treated with, and if that's how you're doing it, expect it back. It shouldn't be a surprise.
Because this content isn't
Yeah,
for
because you're
her.
really demonstrating a Christian.
Well, there are Christian bodybuilders that exist, Isaac. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, of course. Yeah. But you, on the other hand,
Yeah.
are demonstrating a
Yes.
Christian
Yeah.
bodybuilder.
That that made me like second when he was going, yes, yeah, that made me secondhand embarrassed for him. It was, I get what he was trying to do, but the cringe, it's like Max wants to be the edgelord, and it's like, oh God, it's so cringy for a grown-ass man to do it. I mean, it's cringy when teenagers do it, especially teenage boys. But like when a grown-ass man does it, it's just even worse. Just the secondhand embarrassment there, bud. Oof. Oof.
Okay. That's not weird behavior for her to post this.
Oh,
right?
no, that's really weird behavior for you.
This is not.
To
This is
even
not,
fantasize and be like,
I know I'm
why is
excited
she even
to-
looking at me like this?
it's not
Well,
weird
maybe
at all.
because you're a fool. You called her a B. You said all these other things about her.
Is this
And
okay,
then you
Isaac?
started telling her to go and make pictures of herself.
This is the clip that I was referring to that I asked for consent first, because you know what, Max? That's what decent people do. That's what decent people do is, you know, they get permission before they pull shit like this. And what you're gonna do here in a minute it just really rubbed me the wrong way. When I first watched it, I immediately messaged Smokey because I was pissed off, and I was like, who's gonna understand how mad I am about this right now? I know, Smokey. So I messaged him right away, and I was just like, I think I messaged Lo as well. I was like, this was not okay. Don't like it.
Is this okay? Should she do this?
I don't know. Should you?
Would you let your wife do this, Isaac?
I don't know. My wife doesn't. My wife would not like.
I don't know if you've noticed, but Lo doesn't do this on a regular basis. This isn't a direct response to what you said, Eastmax. She was proving a point to you. And I think she made it. But the way that you sexualized her here is just really, really disgusting. And anyone that can call himself a man would know why this behavior is inappropriate. I mean, it's inappropriate to do it to any single woman, but to do it to a married woman on top of that, just because you don't like her husband, is really gross and disgusting. And I'm really disappointed that you went this low, Max. I expected better of you. And this type of behavior, definitely not Christ-like.
Like me to make cringe videos of myself and my muscles just sitting there showing the whole world. I mean, it's just a little weird. Just saying.
It
Honestly.
is weird.
I don't want guys
Like-
looking at it.
Well, I
At least-
mean,
At least Lowe's
if
looking
that's
at
okay.
it.
I mean, it just sounds like you're insecure in yourself.
Let's go ahead and
honestly.
let's go ahead and make this full screen. Is this okay? She's got lotion right there. I wonder what that's for. Is this okay? Look, we got a camel toe. Is this okay? We're looking at Lowe's camel toe together. Is this okay?
This was really upsetting. It was really upsetting. It was uncalled for. It's undignified. And the fact that you're sexualizing her on stream like this is pretty terrible, Max. And you should be ashamed of yourself for this. If anything, if you take away anything else from this stream, this is the most important thing that I want you to remember, is that this is disappointing and not acceptable behavior. And I want to remain couth on my own video. I know I have cursed a few times, and I'm trying not to curse so much, but sometimes it happens. This is really terrible and disgusting behavior, and a disappointment. This was not necessary at all, especially when, Max, you're the one that brought up body image in the first place. You, again, invited that topic, and this, yeah.
I'm not looking at it, but you can.
Is that okay?
And it just goes to show you your heart. And
It does.
like
I'm
I said,
just
you
saying.
are a very disgusting human being.
I'm
And
just
that
saying.
is
I agree.
one of the reasons why she
wait a
does
minute,
not
wait a
take
minute.
pictures.
Yeah, and that's very, very true. That she did say, and I can't remember what stream she said it on, but she did say that she doesn't post pictures that often because people sexualize her. And Max just proved her right. He did the exact thing that she said happens when she posts pictures of her body online. So you just validated her reason for not doing it.
Wait a minute. Where's East Max's dick at?
What do you mean? It's all in front of everyone to see. Don't you see it? I see it.
Where's
I see it
my
right
vagina?
there. What are you talking about? I see it right.
I'm I just want to say that this particular photo it looks like he's wearing like a corset or waist trainer, the way he's like sucking it in to make his chest look bigger. I don't normally attack or make comments on other people's outward appearance, but when you invite the criticism because you're criticizing others, I guess that's where we're gonna go. But it does look, he's got a tiny little waist, and it looks like he's wearing a waist trainer.
Where's
See it?
my?
I see it.
Where's
I see it
my
right
vagina?
there. What are you talking
Guys,
about?
I
see it right there.
I don't see. I get the point that Isaac's trying to make, but I don't think he's executing it the best. But this is definitely demonstrating ego and vanity, for sure, 100%. I had written down. I just have to find where it went. I must have. Oh, okay. Here we go. Is this on a different video? No, I think we skipped that. Oh no. Okay. So in the previous video, Smokey had said not Smokey, Eastmax had said that he was frustrated with Smokey's sway around here. And that to me says that you're jealous of the influence that you believe that Smokey has. And the Bible does call out jealousy as a sin. I mean, Galatians 5:19-21, James 3:16, Proverbs 14:30, Romans 13:13, all talk about jealousy being a sin. And I just kind of wanted to reiterate what, like, Max is doing a lot of sinning actively in these streams by being jealous. And this is an example of another sin, vanity and pride, you know? And God does very specifically talk about vanity and outward appearance in the Bible. Let me pull up a little tidbit that I wanted to read to you guys that I had. Okay. Okay, so the Bible repeatedly warns against vanity, especially when it refers to pride, self exaltation, or an unhealthy focus on outward appearance. Proverbs 31:30, charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting. 1 Samuel 16:7, the Lord does not look at things people look at. People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. Your beauty should not come. Oh, this is 1 Peter 3. Your beauty should not come with outward adornment. Rather, it should be that of your inner self, the unfading beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is of great worth in God's sight. So the vanity and the pride that is shown through these pictures is unbiblical. So, I mean, you might want to work on that, Max. Just saying. Sorry, I missed the part about pride. So the Bible also condemns pride, which is closely related to vanity. Pride goes before destruction and a haughty spirit before a fall. James 4:6, God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble. I mean, there's no humility here in this, Max. There isn't. And yeah, where'd it go? 1 Samuel 16:7 kind of lays it out all. God isn't impressed by outward appearance. He's looking at your heart. So it's your heart that matters, not your outward appearance, Max. So why are we focused on our outward appearance and bragging about our outward appearance and then sexualizing a woman and judging her based on her outward appearance because you don't like her husband? It's a whole lot of sinning going on there, Max.
Where's my vagina?
Oh, I see it right there. Oh, I see it right there. I see it in front of. It's all right in front of everyone to see. It's full
pointed right
display.
there,
You put
look.
your dick in front of everyone because
Look,
you
it's
think
pointed
you're all
right
big and
there.
bad.
It's pointed right
You
there,
flop your
guys.
big ass dick in front of everyone's face, be like, suck it, bitch. But no one wants to suck it because you're a fucking moron. Not even the girls. You can't even get any girl laid because they're like, man, you're too proudful in your own self. You don't even know how to please a woman.
Isaac was going with both barrels there. I mean, I wouldn't go that far. But hey, I guess someone had to say it. But good for you, Isaac. Oh, good for you for calling him out. But I mean, that particular clip really, again, really bothered me. Because if you saw, he took his mouse and he was like circling around her breasts in the picture. He was zooming in on her crotch. And I mean, if you're trying to appear like you're the one who's righteous, Max, you're doing a very, very poor job of it. And if this is the way that you think that you battle evil, I'm sorry, but no. I don't see that at all. I just see you being disgusting. That I felt bad enough. And I know Low and Smokey can handle themselves and they don't need anyone to come and defend them. But there are certain things that I feel like I need to speak out on. And that was definitely one of them. That was inappropriate and really disappointing, Max. And I really wish you hadn't have done it. Not that that matters to you, obviously, because other people's opinions, don't matter. And you somehow think that, you're doing God's will, I suppose, by pulling shit like that. But what a poor representative of Christianity, because you're trying to come across like you're some righteous Christian who's in the right. And, you're defending against evil. What if other baby Christians come to your stream or come to Isaac's stream and sees you behaving that way? Like, what kind of example are you setting for this community that you want to preach to and share the gospel with? You should be ashamed of yourself because that's not accomplishing what you think it's accomplishing. Okay, what are we going to go with next? That one's later. Okay, this is another Isaac stream. And we're going to go, there's only one clip here. Yeah, there's only one clip in this video. Am I at that time? I think I'm, no, it's a little too far. There we go. Okay, here we go. This is an important little clip. Oh, let me just make sure that I'm sharing this again. Caught myself before I got too far. This one. This is another Isaac stream. Yes, okay.
Or do something because he has this kind of knowledge. He doesn't realize the more that he tells people, the worse it's actually going to be.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
So
I'm trying
this
to get
is
over
why what I'm going to tell you, Ryan, at the end of the day, he gets himself in these predicaments.
No, I
Smokey-
know. I know that. Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
but
right.
Smokey is not like keeping him as an informant. He's literally like, oh my gosh, I wish you would understand this.
I'm
you've heard of,
listening.
you've heard of like keeping your enemies closer and your friends close, but your enemies closer.
Yeah, that's why I kept Smokey close. He was a liability. And by the way, my stream has surpassed his for the record.
Okay. So if you heard there, Isaac said, keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. And Isaac said, Eastmax said, yes, that's what I was doing with Smokey. So again, we have a contradiction to his intentions with Smokey. So that means that he saw Smokey as an enemy. So throughout my stream here, we have heard that he was never cool with Smokey and that he just tolerated him. Then he said that he thought he was friends with Smokey. And now he's claiming that Smokey was an enemy that he kept close. So that's 3 different versions of the story, Max. They all contradict themselves. Which was it? Was Smokey your friend? Was Smokey your enemy? Or did you just tolerate him because he was part of the group? Which is it? They're all conflicting stories. But when you sit here and say, oh, well, I've been honest and upfront with everybody, and I've shown you several clips that that's not true, that doesn't look good for you. Again, you've got to strive for consistency. If you want to be taken seriously, then you got to pick your story and stick to it. You can't keep jumping all over the place because it just discredits you and makes you look like a fool. And you don't accomplish anything other than making people laugh at you. So, I mean, if you're trying to paint this picture that you're a righteous person that wants to share Jesus and his gospel, but then you turn around and you're deceptive and you lie, do you think that that's how Jesus should be represented in this community? Is that the message that you want to get across to new Christians that may come to your channel? Is that the example that you want to set that Christianity is? Maybe it's time to step back and do some reflection on that. But anyway, story keeps changing. There was one last little part. Okay, we looked at that stream. Cool. Okay, this one we're done with. I got too many windows open. So there was one last little bit in this particular stream. And now this is Max's stream. And this was another this was another stream where I was just I wasn't losing my mind, but I was like, I had some feelings about what Max was saying. And I didn't write any notes on this one because I was hurt for time. So we're just gonna kind of wing it as we go. Make it big. Take out the chat. All right. Let's make sure we're at the right timestamp here. No, we're not. That's one. Okay, we gotta go back a little bit farther. Okay, that should be good enough, I hope.
Well, Lo has demonstrated to me that Smokey has pure mind control over her, and I don't believe her story anymore.
Max, you should definitely study with Rob Reed. Will Freeman said, "Hi, Will."
Oh yeah. No, me and Rob, I plan on doing some studying with Rob. I do some studying with Veckel. I study with a lot of people around here, but Smokey claims I don't have anywhere to go or any friends or anything to do on this app no more.
You want to come in, Mr. Freeman?
No, he's afraid.
Nah.
No, he's not afraid. He's just mad at me that he gets booted, he gets kicked because he won't follow the rules. He's like a kid, like Smokey does. Now, outside of YouTube, I think Will Freeman's a cool guy, but
I love Will Freeman.
Me too. But inside my own stream, they always want to bring something to the table. So, well, do you want Fro? Do you want an honest answer about this? Because I can answer this question from Lady Avon.
Sure.
Well, Lo is not responsible enough to manage her own money, so Smokey has to control her money. Lo is not responsible enough to control her own phone, so Smokey has to control her phone. Lo is not capable of coming up with her own thoughts, so Smokey has to tell her everything that she believes in theologically, right?
So all of that is just speculation on East Mac's part. He doesn't have any evidence of that. He just makes assumptions. And the reason why I wanted to address this is because Lo has come out before and said that she wants to be a trad wife. I love the idea of being a trad wife. If I was in a situation where I had the opportunity to be a trad wife with my husband, 100% would. That's my choice. That's something I would want to do. Unfortunately, I'm not in a situation where I can do that. But Lo does. And good for her. So the fact that he's sitting here saying that Lo is not responsible enough to control her money. Well, what do you think she did before she was with Smokey? She controlled her own money. She had a career. She had a paycheck. How did she take care of herself up to this point, Max, if she couldn't control her own money? He controls her phone. You know why he's saying that Smokey controls her phone? Because Smokey said that both Lo and Smokey exchange and go through each other's phones. They have full access to each other's phones. That is somehow translates to Max that Smokey is controlling Lo. Well, I guess my husband controls me too, because we have the ability to go through each other's phones too. I can pick up my husband's phone at any time and go through his shit. He can do the same to me. I trust my husband and I don't hide anything from him. I actually haven't been through my husband's phone unless I've had to go in and get something. I can't remember what it was that I needed from him recently, but there was something in particular on his phone that I didn't have on my phone, and I grabbed his phone. I got what I needed and I gave it back. I've been with my husband for 13 years. I trust him. He trusts me. We don't hide anything from each other. We have that kind of trust in our relationship that, we do the same thing. Does that mean that my husband is controlling me, Max, because he has full access to my phone? No. It just means that we trust each other enough and we don't hide things from our spouses, that we have the freedom to do that. And if Smokey and Lo have that understanding and they both consent to that, it doesn't mean that Smokey's controlling Lo. It just means that they have enough mutual respect and trust in their relationship to do that. That's commendable. Good for them. That means they have a strong, healthy relationship. Now, some people might have a different opinion on that and be like, well, I need my privacy and I don't want my spouse looking through my phone. If two people agree that they don't want to keep each other's access to each other's phones, but they trust each other enough to be in the relationship still, that's them. See, that's the thing with relationship dynamics, is it's going to vary from couple to couple. So who are you to sit here and accuse Smokey of controlling Lo when you don't have the full picture of what their relationship dynamic is? Right? Who are you to judge Lo if she's willingly giving up her ability to, or her access to, well, not access, but like she doesn't want to control the money. So she's giving that responsibility to Smokey. That's her choice. She's a grown ass woman. And some women do feel more comfortable letting their husbands control all of the money. But that's a choice that she made. If she didn't want, and I don't know if you've noticed about Lo, but she's pretty strong-willed, right? She comes on here and she can hold her own. I respect the hell out of that woman. And I wish I had the balls that she did, honestly. I wish I could call people out the way she does. So do you honestly think for a second that if Smokey was controlling her in a way that she did not like or want or invite, that she would stay in that relationship? At minimum, she would reach out to the people that care about her and say, hey, I need help. I'm in a situation I can't get out of. Right? But who are we to judge their relationship dynamic because it works for them? If Lo is giving up that control to Smokey, that's her choice. Why are you trying to condemn her for that? Why are you trying to attack Smokey for it? It makes me believe, Max, that you don't really have a whole lot of experience in successful relationships. Because every relationship is going to be different. And what you think is a good relationship may not necessarily be what they think is a good relationship. Or vice versa. So we shouldn't sit here and judge other people if they're happy, if they're healthy, if they're safe, and they're consenting adults. Guess what? The rest of their relationship is none of your business. It really isn't. And judging them because you don't understand their relationship dynamic says more about you than it does for them. And like, if you have a problem with Smokey and being a hypocrite, why are we attacking their personal relationship and their marriage rather than focusing on what the argument is? See, Max, what I've kind of gathered through all of this shit watching this over the last couple of days is that you don't actually have like an actual definitive argument to support. You're kind of all over the place, right? You're telling us different things, right? The story changes every time we hear it. And really all I've been able to gather is that you don't like Smokey. And the fact that you were rejected from the group has hurt you very badly. So, and everything else is just kind of up in the air. You know, you're making accusations, you're instigating problems, and then you're turning around and you're, oh, poor me, I'm the victim. Then you're saying that everyone's going to go down, but then you're not really trying to accomplish anything. You know, you were just trying to bait Smokey. And it's all very chaotic. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. And I think at this point, from my perspective, all you've really done is lost the respect of people who did have some of that respect for you or admiration. Yes, my love. Can I help you? Smokey's gonna love that. Here, come here and say that out loud so Smokey can hear you.
What's his name again?
Max.
Max, you're like a pizza cutter. All edge, no point.
Oh, one of the reasons I married that man. Anyway, guys, I have been at this for 2 hours. This went on a lot longer than I thought, and I do have to go to church in the morning. And it's 11:30, so I'm gonna go spend some time with my husband before I go to bed. But thank you for joining me. Oh, that's okay, Smokey. No big deal. She also controls my phone. Yeah. We have to. We have a shared business. Yeah, like, I mean, Smokey, you don't have to defend your relationship. And it's really frustrating to me that you feel like you have to and that Max has put you in a position where you feel like you have to defend your relationship. Because to most of us who have been in successful relationships, we understand this. 100% understand this, you know? So the fact that he's sitting here criticizing you over your relationship dynamic that he doesn't understand is just pathetic. You know, if you don't understand it, ask, speak up, say something. Did you see it? Anyway, thank you all for joining me. Yeah, of course, Smokey, of course. I got you back, dude. Like, it's funny how they all, like everyone in the group gets called a Smokey sycophant. And I think it's a lot of times out of jealousy, I guess, because there is a lot of respect amongst the friends in this relationship. I meant in this group, right? And I mean, you and I started off on the wrong foot years ago. And the fact that we've been able to get through that and build a friendship, and I can say that you are my friend and you are someone I trust, that means a lot to me. And I'm not going to let somebody like Max walk in here and make all these wild claims and destroy a friendship that has been years in the making. You know, like it, and it's silly to think that Max could do that and that he can come in here and try and rattle some cages and destroy some relationships when that's not what's going to happen. Anyway. Anyway, I love you all. You're all wonderful. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you next time.